I took a donation down to the food bank and I just took one look and thought, yeah, I can do this. This is something I can help with. It was lockdown. I had no work on. I was languishing on my couch watching Netflix and just thought I can be doing something a lot more useful. Right, so somebody's going to need to do eggs. We've got 1, 2, 14, so that will probably cover this section. You know what you're doing. You know what you're doing. And you know what you're doing. Just clear that. Hooray! I work in the events industry normally. I'm a production manager, and what I'm finding is that a lot of my production skills are brilliant for running a food bank because it's all logistics. You've got to get things in, you've got to get things out. So we've got people from all backgrounds. We've got actors, we've got people who used to work in bars, in supermarkets. Some of the people working here as volunteers were actually food bank users, and some still are, and they've just wanted to contribute and help. So that's been great to have a lot of people that we've been helping come back and help us.
I lost my job at the beginning of the pandemic, and I started getting food from the food bank, and once I got myself in a little bit better position, I decided to help out myself. It's a really lovely community. Everyone's here because they want to be. It's not because they need to get a wage or something, it's their actual choice. It took me about 2-3 months before I actually used the food bank. But with me asking for help, I'm in a really good community, so I've gained a lot from it.
There's a lot of provision around Thanet, amazing charitable provision for those in need. Sometimes you get situations where they don't meet the criteria for receiving support. So we formed Thanet Iceberg Project to pick up the people that were falling through the gaps. So at the Kitchen CT9, we're a community cafe. The majority of what we use here as ingredients is food surplus from the whole of the food chain. So everywhere from manufacturing, packaging, supermarkets, etc. The charity Fair Share collects foods like that and then distribute it to food banks and community projects. We buy just the barest minimum that we have to enable us to operate. So that enables us to price all of our food very, very low. The food is a pay-as-you-can basis. So we set out to create an environment where somebody would choose to come and eat because the food was good, the ambience was good, the atmosphere, etc. But also a place that somebody in need, someone on a low income, a rough sleeper, would also know and feel equally as welcome and come in and sit down and have their meal for free. What we wanted to do is provide an environment where both of those sections of the community can be together. We didn't know for certain whether it was going to work out in terms of the finances. And actually, we have been bowled over, firstly by the support by local businesses to get up and running. And since we've been open, so many people come in and pay forward. You can come in and either just pay extra for your meal and it goes in the till into the general funds to keep us running, or you can buy a £5 voucher, which if you give it to somebody, it means they can use that to come in here, and when it comes to pay, they just hand that to the waitress and that covers the cost of their meal. People will buy those vouchers and leave them here for us to give to people saying, oh, you know who needs it more than I do. And we pass that on via social workers, porch light workers, other charity workers. We've got a local GP who will give them out to patients that he's seeing that he knows are struggling. We've been really pleasantly surprised and really blessed by the fact that the community seems to have understood what we're trying to do, and they're more and more coming to check it out for themselves and mixing. And what we love is that there have been some friendships that have formed between regulars across social divides, economic divides, etc. And that's definitely chalks up as a success in my book.
A food bank is an emergency response for somebody who is hungry at that moment. From February onwards, we did free food as an emergency response in Thanet. I was very proud of the quality of the food, but I wasn't proud of the fact that I couldn't give anybody choice.
So we set up a shop. It had to be a friendly shop. It had to be somewhere where we could support people, where we could give advice, we could teach about food.
Here, it's just like a normal shop, but it's a protected environment with food, so there are no fizzy drinks, no cheap biscuits and cakes, nothing that we really shouldn't be eating at all.
It just sort of lightens the load a bit because it means that I know that I'm never going to go hungry and I can eat like really well. It's honestly just like a lifeline for me.
And it makes an awful lot of difference. There's a big one at Ramsgate, I've been told.
I went there
I've never been.
yesterday, but I didn't have enough money to get all I needed on me.
So we are mega busy. Ramsgate is building up slowly. Our biggest sales are fresh fruit and veg. The people who need the most support are the single elderly men who have lost their wives. But it is still true to say that it is the women in Thanet who are carrying the burden, who organise the family spending, who are expected day in, day out to come up with ideas for feeding the family well. You would have thought that people would have said, I just want cheap food, please. They don't. What they say is, give me some ideas. Help me cook better, help me feed my children better.
So we have tastings in the shop and we introduce people to new foods. We make it possible in every single way for people to eat better.
The whole idea is with the kit bags and the recipe cards is to give people ideas of what they can do, and they're basically to be used as an inspiration. And they've actually have proven to be really popular. Very basic, very simple recipes, extremely healthy, and so easy to rustle up. And that's the whole idea behind the kind of food we're trying to promote. It's 2 pots water to 1 pot rice. I'm going to cover it, turn the heat down to a simmer. Looking absolutely yummy, it's super healthy and hopefully delicious.
This is lovely. It's really nice. She's coming round my house later to make me lunch. I'm going to try it. I've just bought the ingredients. I've never cooked with courgette. I used to live on mince, but now I try different things like this rice. It's lovely.
This is about re-empowering a whole community. I really do think that we have a new way forward here that is original and creative and meaningful and right. And I am amazed, but we seem to have some sort of national image now. And this afternoon we've been invited to join an all-party parliamentary inquiry, and what happens in Thanet now will influence national and international decisions.